Most people will scroll past this message, but if your spirit paused, if something in you leaned in just now, this isn't random. This is a divine sign. Only the spiritually sensitive will recognize it. The 2% who are awake, the chosen, the called. God is speaking, and this is your confirmation. You've been seeing signs, haven't you? Repeating numbers, dreams that feel more like visions, sudden waves of emotion that come out of nowhere, a deep inner tug telling you something is shifting, but you can't explain it. That's not imagination, that's revelation. The truth is, when God is about to shift your life, He doesn't shout, He whispers, through signs, through energy, through alignment, and only the spiritually alert will catch it. The 2% who are not just existing but listening. Right now, something divine is happening behind the scenes of your life. Doors are being moved, people are being stirred, resources are being assigned. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows. And here's the wild part. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's subtle. Like a flicker in the corner of your vision. Like a soft nudge in your chest when you're about to go the wrong way. Like a stranger saying the exact thing you were just praying about. These are the fingerprints of God. But here's the thing. Most people miss them because they're too distracted, too busy, too addicted to noise. But not you. You paused. You're watching this for a reason. And that reason is simple. You're part of the 2%. The 2% who feel things others ignore. The 2% who carry a knowing they can't explain. The 2% who God marks early, isolates, refines, and then reveals. You've probably felt like something was off lately. Like you don't belong in old rooms anymore. Like your circle feels smaller. Your tolerance for fake people, small talk, and spiritual emptiness has disappeared. That's not a coincidence. That's a sign. You're shedding the old. Your spirit is preparing to receive something divine. And before every divine release, there's a spiritual signal. Some people get it through repeated numbers, 111, 222, 333. Those are spiritual alerts. Not magic, not superstition, but reminders. Each one tied to a promise, a phase, a warning. Some get it through dreams. Not all dreams are dreams. Some are visitations. Some are messages wrapped in symbols. You wake up and know it wasn't just your mind. It was your spirit traveling, receiving. Others feel it through emotional surges. You're fine 1 minute, and then suddenly overwhelmed. With tears, with laughter, with a wave of love you can't explain. That's not weakness. That's your soul reacting to divine energy moving through you. These are signs, and only the 2% are paying attention. Because God doesn't send signs to impress you. He sends them to prepare you. And what He's preparing you for is bigger than you think. You've been waiting, haven't you? Quietly, faithfully, even when no one saw you, even when it hurt. You didn't quit. You kept believing, even with tears in your eyes. You spoke life over dead situations. You prayed when you had nothing left but your breath. And now, it's coming. That's what this sign is. This message, this moment. It's your spiritual heads up that God is about to shift your entire atmosphere. But here's the part most won't hear. Not everyone is supposed to come with you. That's why things have been falling away. That's why some friendships feel forced. That's why certain doors slam shut even though you tried everything to keep them open. God isn't punishing you. He's positioning you. And when He positions a chosen one, He clears the space. Only the 2% understand that subtraction is often a sign of multiplication. That the storm is often the sign the blessing is near. That being alone doesn't mean being abandoned. It means being anointed in private before being revealed in public. You've been hidden for a reason. God was protecting you from premature exposure, from people who would have corrupted your vision, from environments that would have dulled your gift. But now, the veil is thinning. The signs are increasing. And your spirit knows. It's time. This is not just another week, not just another video. This is a line in the sand moment, a signal. Your gifts are being activated. Your discernment is sharpening. Your authority is rising. And that random moment you looked up and saw a butterfly. That time you kept hearing the same name. That song that wouldn't leave your spirit. That number that kept popping up. God has been speaking. But only the 2%, those with spiritual ears, will say, I hear you, Lord. And that's you. You're not average. You've never been. That's why your life's been harder. That's why you couldn't settle. That's why fake friends couldn't stay. You were never designed to fit in. You were designed to stand out. And now God is calling your attention. He's showing you signs because He wants you to move, to shift, to prepare. Prepare your heart. Prepare your space. Prepare your faith. Because what's coming will require you to believe more boldly than you ever have. You won't be able to explain it. People around you won't understand. But you'll know, because you already do. This moment, this message, it's not a coincidence. It's a confirmation. So now that you've recognized the sign, what happens next? Because receiving the sign is only the first step. The real test is in your response. God is watching what you do after the confirmation. Will you brush it off and return to distractions? Or will you shift your posture, quiet your spirit, and move differently because you know heaven is watching? Chosen one, you're being called into alignment. And alignment requires obedience. Obedience to the whispers, not the crowd. Obedience to what God said in the quiet, not what people shout in the noise. This is the moment where God is testing your sensitivity, and only the 2% will pass, because only the 2% will obey when it doesn't make sense. When God gives you a sign, He's also giving you an invitation to partner with Him in what's coming. He's showing you what others can't see, because you've proven you can be trusted. So here's what to do next. 1. Get still. The signs won't make sense if your mind is cluttered. The divine requires clarity, and clarity only comes through stillness. This is your time to unplug from distraction and reconnect to direction. Get into silence. Fast. Journal. Meditate. Pray not just to speak, but to listen, because after the sign comes the instruction. And if you miss the instruction, you may miss the miracle. 2. Let go. You can't carry old habits into a new season. That sign wasn't just encouragement, it was a warning. Let it go. The relationship, the bitterness, the fear, the comfort zone. Release it, because what's ahead requires space. God doesn't pour new wine into old wineskins. He's not adding to your life. He's transforming it. But transformation always begins with surrender. 3. Watch for repetition. God is precise. When He speaks, He often repeats Himself to confirm it's really Him. If you keep seeing the same number, hearing the same phrase, meeting people with the same name or message, it's not random. It's divine repetition. Start writing it down. Track the signs. There's a pattern forming, and it's leading you to your next breakthrough. 4. Obey quickly. Delayed obedience is disobedience. When you know God is prompting you to act, move. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it stretches your faith, your willingness to act quickly unlocks favor and acceleration. God doesn't need perfection. He needs obedience. The window is open right now, but it won't stay open forever. Listen, God gives signs to those He's about to elevate, but elevation always begins with a test. You might not feel qualified. You might not feel ready. But if you're still listening, that's proof you are. This is the separation season. God is pulling His chosen ones out of confusion and into clarity, out of survival mode and into assignment. That's why your desires are changing. That's why your appetite for meaningless conversation has disappeared. You are being refined for something holy, and the signs are preparing you for it. It won't look like the world expects. That's why only the 2% will notice it. The majority will keep chasing trends, ignoring their spirit, and missing what's right in front of them. But not you. You're awakening. You're remembering. You're aligning. This is why you were rejected. This is why you were hidden. This is why you were different. Because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break through. That divine sign you saw, it was a reminder. You were never forgotten. You were always marked. You're next. But you can't go back to sleep. When God starts showing signs, the worst thing you can do is stay passive. This is your moment to rise, to tune your spirit, to prepare your life for movement. Because it's not just about blessing, it's about becoming. You're becoming who God always knew you were, the version of you that's fearless, focused, surrendered. And that's the version the enemy is terrified of. That's why the attacks increased. That's why the warfare intensified. The enemy saw the signs too, and he knows what's coming if you recognize them. He's trying to distract you before you activate. But it's too late. You saw the sign. You felt it. You know it's real. So now, walk in it. You are not average. You were born for something holy. You don't need everyone to understand. You just need to obey. And as you do, God will begin to confirm what He showed you. He'll send new resources. He'll align divine connections. He'll make crooked paths straight. But it starts with you believing that this moment was never